Alright, so we know this technique lets you jump higher, but just how much of a height advantage do you actually gain from performing a spring jump? Let's find out. What I've done in Forge is I've placed these 3 blocks at very specific heights. The objective is to get on top of these blocks without using a clamber. The first block is at standard jump height. So if you just jump and you don't hold crouch, you'll perfectly get up to that first block. The second block is at crouch jump height. So if you jump and hold crouch, you'll perfectly land on this second block, which is pretty significant. Really, it goes to show that you should hold crouch in all of your jumps because you get a huge boost in height just from holding that crouch button. And the third one, this is the spring jump. Look at this. Over the crouch jump there. Now, of course, you're holding crouch in the spring jump. So you're combining both crouch and spring jump together, but the difference is significant from the first and the second block. I mean, if you look at all 3, it's as if the standard jump and the crouch jump and the spring jump have the same height difference between them. You're getting a huge advantage just from being able to perform this technique. And of course, you don't burn any resources like a thrust or a stabilize or anything like that, which we'll talk about. But look at here it is again, spring jump to get up to that third block. And I've got another little hack method that'll let you hit perfect spring jumps. This one's just for elite controller users. So if you have an elite controller, I have an old dusty one here that I had to pull out. But the reason why is because of the profile switch. Basically what you want to do is if you have an elite controller, wherever you've got your crouch mapped, for example, I've mapped crouch on this one paddle right here. What you want to do is map a second profile on the second switch, map jump in the same location that you mapped crouch on that first profile. So what happens is if you jump and hold crouch on that profile 1, when I switch to profile 2 while holding crouch, it'll frame perfectly spring jump every single time. So jump, hold the crouch paddle, and then flick to profile 2, frame perfectly spring jump. You just have to remember to flick back to profile 1 so you don't screw yourself up, but that's kind of a cool little hack as well. Now this part is not an outtake, just something I wanted to add on top and talk about what I think is the best method to improve at spring jumps. And of course, if you want to practice specific spring jumps on specific maps, then you should practice on those maps. But if you want to get better at spring jumping in general, then I think Octagon is probably the best place to do so. Because in Octagon, you can put yourself in a fast-paced environment where you can afford to make mistakes, but also challenge yourself to mix it into your movement and hit your shots at the same time. And I'll show you what I mean, where you can mix it into your mechanics, like sliding, and I'll jump, thrust backwards, spring jump, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shot, and then spring stabilize to try to make myself a hard target. So I specifically time the spring jumps after the player dies so that I'm up high in the air when he spawns up in a hard position. So once again, jump, spring stabilize, and then do it with my thrust at the same time, hitting the shots at the same time as another spring stabilize. So if you can mix that into your movement and hit it consistently and confidently, so you're also hitting your shots at the same time, you become pretty deadly on the playing field. I feel like that's a good way to practice. You should give it a try.
Perfect kill! That's a double.
Prey, predator.
Perfect kill! And that's a triple.
Prey, predator.
Damn, you're good! Perfect kill! That's a double.
Prey, predator.
Perfect kill!